Hello, in this video I'm going to be analyzing the fundamentals of poetry, line, stanza and hemistich. These terms are fundamental to understanding how poetry is structured, especially in classical Persian poetry, where their meanings differ slightly from their Western counterparts. I will explain what these terms mean, how they are used in Persian poetry, and how they compare to Western traditions. In classical Persian, the term line, or khat in Farsi, is synonymous with couplet, or bait in Farsi. Each line or couplet consists of two hemistichs, and the hemistich in Farsi is misra, or we also call misra, making it a self-contained unit of meaning. For example, take this line from Rumi: "Beshno az ney chon hekayet mi konad, az judayi ha shekayet mi konad." Listen to the reed, how it complains, telling the tale of separations, or complaining and suffering from the separation. Here is how it's structured. The first part, listen to the reed, how it complains, is the first hemistich, or misra. The second part, telling a tale of separations, is the second hemistich. Together, these two hemistichs form a complete line or a couplet. And yes, in Persian poetry, they are used interchangeably. What are the key differences between Persian and Western poetry? In Western poetry, a couplet refers to two separate lines that rhyme or complement each other. For example, "Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are." As I said, in Persian poetry, a line and a couplet are the same. A couplet, or bait, refers to one self-contained line that consists of two hemistichs. Here is the key point to remember. Western couplets consist of two separate lines, whereas Persian couplets are a single unit, not necessarily formed in two lines. They can be in the same line with a space in between. Let's now focus on the hemistich, or misra, or misra, which is a half of a poetic line. In Persian poetry, a hemistich or misra is always paired with another to form a complete line or couplet. For example, in this couplet by Sa'di, we have "Bani Adam a'zai yekdigarand ke dar afarinesh ze yek goharand." Human beings are members of a whole. In creation, one essence and soul. The first part, human beings are members of a whole, is the first hemistich. The second part, in creation, one essence and whole, is the second hemistich. Together, these two hemistichs form a couplet or a line. In Persian poetry, a caesura or a pause separates the two hemistichs, creating rhythm and balance. Unlike Western poetry, where individual lines may not always be symmetrical, Persian poetry ensures that hemistichs are rhythmically and metrically balanced. Here is a key point. A hemistich cannot stand alone as a complete unit in Persian poetry. It always pairs with another hemistich to form a full line or a couplet. Now let's discuss a stanza, or band in Farsi, which is a group of lines forming a larger unit in poem. In Persian poetry, the term band is used to describe a stanza, but it is less common in classical forms like Ghazals or Rubaiyat because they focus on couplets rather than grouped lines. Stanza is more commonly used in narratives or epic poetry and modern Persian poetry, what we call she'r-i-nau, where free verse structures are prevalent. For example, let's consider this quatrain. "The garden blooms with colors bright. The sun descends, retreating light. The breeze carries a soft delight, whispering the secrets of the night." This is a four-line stanza where each contributes to the imagery and theme. In Persian poetry, structure is more compact, with each couplet or line often standing alone as a complete unit. In Western poetry, structure is more flexible, with stanzas often organizing broader ideas across multiple lines. Understanding these structures helps us appreciate the artistry of Persian poetry. The balance between two hemistichs create musicality, while stanzas offer flexibility for thematic expansion. In Western poetry, these terms might function slightly differently, but the goal remains the same: to evoke emotions and ideas through rhythm and structure. By recognizing these differences, we can enjoy poetry from all traditions with greater insight. Now, I have a question for you. Do these terms differ in your language? Share it with us in the comments. Now that you have learned these structures, if you wish to learn how to interpret poetry systematically, I encourage you to watch this video. In this video, I give you guidelines about hermeneutic analysis of poetry. Thanks for watching.